Oh, hello, welcome back. So today is day 2 of the 30-day challenge. So, like always, we're gonna learn English in the easiest and fastest way, but we're gonna be walking along the beach over there and we'll learn some great English word. The first word of the day is beach, and the second word of the day is heat wave. And a heat wave is when it's really, really hot. And in France right now, there is a heat wave. So we're gonna enjoy ourselves on the beach. So this here is a change room, so you can change. I've never seen it on the beaches here, so this is a change room. And like I said, we're gonna be walking along the beach. Walking along the beach, that's cool. Let's look at another great English word here. Ooh, you guys see the waves there? It's a great English word, waves. And it's really hot today, so there's a lot of people on the beach. Can you guys see how many people are there? There's a lot of people. There's a nice sand castle. You guys see, it's a sand castle. A kid made the sand castle, and you make the sand castle with these buckets here. See, those are buckets. And we're just gonna walk along the beach. That's another great English word, when you walk along something. So we're walking along the beach. See, my wife is there ahead of me, and she's walking. We're all walking along the beach. And you guys see on the right side here, there's a bunch of people tanning. Tanning is a very good English word too. It's when you want to get darker from the sun. So there's a lot of people tanning as well. It's very hot today. I'm already start sweating. You guys see that? You guys can see, but there's little fish here in the water. I'm gonna try and get a little closer. Oh no, you guys can't see. But that was a good English word, fish. There were some small fish inside the water, in the water. There's some boats on the water. You guys see all the boats? A lot of boats. So there's different kinds of boats on the water. There's some sailboats, and there's also some yachts. And a lot of people are swimming in the water. You guys see they're all swimming, trying to cool down. That's a really good English word too. Cool down. When you're very, very hot, you try to cool down by going in the water. So those are called paddle boats. And the paddle boats just sit on the water, you guys see? And there's a boat that's dragging some people on the water also. It looks very fun. But I want to show you guys what's on the left here. Here we got some different water toys. You guys see all the water toys? There's some paddle boats. There's even a canoe over here, an inflatable canoe. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that you could do on the beach. This here, that there is a private beach. So private beach is, you have to pay a little bit of money, but you can have nice seats, drinks brought to your table. So yeah, that there is a private beach. Here's a lifeguard post. So that's where the lifeguards stay, and the lifeguards are the people who can save you if you're drowning. So that there was a lifeguard post. We're just gonna walk down here and try and see what new English words we can learn. My wife stayed on the beach. She's gonna relax on the beach, and me and you guys are gonna learn some more English. So let's continue. Ooh, there's a nice word here. Here's a billboard for advertising. This is KFC. Everybody loves KFC. And in front of me, ooh, there's a underground parking. Or no, not underground. It's just a regular parking. This here in front of me is a crosswalk. I'm gonna cross the road and see what is on the other side of the road. Ooh, there's a nice little walking path here, so I think I'm gonna take this walking path here. I'll show you guys. Bam! That is the little walking path. So we're gonna walk around here. I think it takes us to the port, the boat port. So we're gonna go look and see what other cool English words we can learn. So you see this is a walking path. And yes, it takes us right to the port. So you can see they got different boats parked on the port. It looks really nice. But the water here, ooh, it looks kind of dirty, the water. Doesn't look that clean. But yeah, this is a port. This is where people come and they park their boats. It's called a port. And like I explained before, there's different kinds of boats parked here. There's some sailboats. That's a great English word, sailboat. And then there's different yachts and smaller boats that are parked here. All right, I'm gonna continue walking, and if I see any new English words, don't worry, I'll let you guys know. This is Gulf Juan. This is the city that we're in. So it's just a little artwork about the city. It looks pretty cool. Oh, and it's the start of the 20th century. And this one says the start of the 21st century. So, great words. Century is just 100 years. It's a great English word too. Century is 100 years. And there's also a decade. And a decade is just 10 years. So you have 10 years, a decade, and a century is 100 years. Oh, and then again, there's another great English word in front of me. It says, ooh, let's get closer to the sign. Hold on, wait, so you guys can see well. Boom, that's the English word there for rent. And rent is when you don't buy something, you rent it. So you rent it for maybe a couple hours and you got to give it back later. So great English word, rent. And it's a nice little walk along this side, along this boardwalk along the port. It's really nice. Oop, got a nice garbage can there. English word, garbage can. And you throw garbage into the garbage can. So that was a garbage can, and garbage is anything that you don't want anymore. It's garbage. All right, so now I'm just walking along the road. On the left of me here, on the left, there's a lot of different stores, restaurants, a lot of different restaurants along this road. And even to the right, there's also some more restaurants along the road also. Oh, that's some good more English words here. They got some apartments for rent. And we can practice some English numbers here. English numbers are always difficult, right? So that there is 999,580 euros. And it's for a seven bedroom apartment. So yeah, 7 different bedrooms inside the apartment. What do you guys think? It's kind of expensive, right? It's almost $1 million, €1 million. I always say dollars because I'm from Canada, but I live in Europe, so I need to always remember to say euros instead of dollars. We got some different boats for sale, and the boats are like $9 million. This one looks a little bit cheaper. This one's 355,000 euros. So yeah, those are some boats that were for sale. And yeah, it's really hot today. So remember, the word of the day is heat wave, because today is really hot outside. So a heat wave is when it's abnormally hot. I don't really see any other words to teach you guys. So I'll see you guys in a little bit when I can find some other words. A closer look at the boats. And you guys see on the boat there's a flag on the boat. I think that's the Irish flag or coat. I don't remember. I'm not sure what flag that was. But there you can see a French flag. And people put flags on their boats, I guess to say where they're from when they're going on the water, when they're sailing on the water. That's another great English word too, sailing. So you see these big boats with the poles. Another great English word, the poles that go up high like that. Yeah, these are called sailboats. And the ones here that don't have the sails, those ones are called yachts. So here is a bunch of sailboats. And I think sailboats are a bit more difficult to drive because there's a lot more mechanisms attached to the boat. So it's a lot more difficult to drive these sailboats. There's a jet ski, great English word, jet ski. And you could take the jet skis on the water. And yeah, just wanted to show you guys jet ski. Another great English word, this is either a map or a plan. It's a map of the port or it's a plan of the port. Great English words here. Ooh, this here is called a fire extinguisher. So when there's a big fire or something, firemen can hook up to the fire extinguisher. But ooh, there's a nice sign here. Do you guys see the sign in front of me? Let's go see what it says. It says Port Camille Rayon. So it's just describing what the port is. So this is here a sign. Oh, and you see this here, the date? 1989. Remember, in English, you separate the two. You take the first two letters, 19, and the second two letters, 89. So 1989. You never say the year 1089, for example. You always say 1989 or 1899. So you separate the numbers. Always remember that when you're speaking English. In front of me, ooh, another great English word here. We got some benches. And benches are just places where you can sit down outside, have a nice seat on the bench. And on this side is more of the port. You guys see over there, a lot more boats are parked. There's some motors on the boat. You guys see at the back of the boat, there's two motors at the back of the boat. There's a nice patio, great English word, it's a patio. But I also wanted to show you guys this sign. You see, it says happy hour. And what happy hour means is drinks are cheaper at this time. So if you see a sign that says happy hour, that just means the drinks are a little bit less expensive. So yeah, great English word, happy hour for those who like to drink. Sign in French, it says theater of the sea. So it's just the theater on the sea. So I guess they have different shows and stuff like that. They show at that theater of the sea. Well, it'd be interesting to come see a show on the sea. And that's another great English word, show. So a show is just, it could be a TV show or just people performing. So performing a concert, you can also say that's a show. Great English word right in front of me. This here, boom, that's called a tractor. I don't know if you guys can see it really well, but yeah, it's a tractor. And oh, right in front of me, you see these are called bushes. So when you have anything that's green like this, it's just called a bush. So there could be some rats in the bush. You could say that. Very useful English word, bush. Another nice beach. This looks like a nice beach, and you guys see there's a private beach over there. But I wanted to see what was over here. This looks like a nice, interesting pathway. Another great English word, pathway. And if you guys remember these big rocks over here to the left, these are called boulders. So any big rocks, they're called boulders. But I have a feeling, and that's another great English, I guess, phrase. You say, I have a feeling it looks nice over here, for example. So if you have a, or you could say, I have a feeling it's going to rain. I have a feeling it's going to snow, for example. It's when you predict something is going to happen in the future. You could say, I have a feeling something is going to happen. Great English word. And like I said, I had a feeling that this was going to be a nice, beautiful view. And my feeling was correct. It is a nice view. And I wonder what's around this bend over here. So, or you could say, I wonder what's around the corner. Great English word. What's around the corner? Another great phrase, you can say. So we're gonna take a little walk and see what is around that corner. So what was around this corner? This is, I guess this is some sort of machinery. Great English word, machinery. So this here, this big blue thing, it's called machinery. So that's what was around the corner. This big piece of machinery and some parking spots here where you can park your car. And over there, I think it's a jet ski rental place. So you can rent a jet ski. And yeah, that's pretty much what was around this corner. So I've been walking for maybe 15 minutes, maybe. So I'm gonna head back, great English word, head back to the beach where my wife is, take a little break, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Okay, so we're very hungry. So we left the beach. We chilled on the beach for maybe 10 more minutes, but we're very hungry. So we're gonna go home and make some nachos. So I guess you guys see us make some nachos. I'm gonna make the nachos, put them in the oven, and I'll see you guys at home. And I'll teach you guys how to make some nachos, my famous nachos. My nachos are really, really good. So we're just driving home now, as you guys can see. I'll show you guys there. Driving home now. Oops, we forgot to put this up. Oh, that's a rear view mirror, by the way, and we forgot to put it up. So I will see you guys at the house. So first thing we gotta do when we're making nachos is cut the onions. So we gotta cut the onions. Also, we need some peppers. We have yellow peppers, red peppers, and also green peppers. We have minced meat. So this is minced meat, meat. And then, of course, you need the tortillas, chips. So we took some Doritos and some of these, and we got some dipping sauce here. So I'm going to cut the onion first. So you want to cut the onion into slices. See this here? That's a slice of an onion. So I'm gonna cut up the onions, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. I cut up the onions, and this is called a cutting board. And then I'm gonna put the onions inside the pan. And oh, this here is a knife. Can't forget that that's a knife. And I'm also gonna put these peppers inside the pan also. Okay, and this is a lid, and it goes on top of the pan. So I'm gonna put it in so it can get really, really hot. And here, these are different seasonings that we're gonna put inside the pan afterwards. And hold on, there's one more ingredient I didn't show you guys. There is also this. Can't forget the cheddar cheese. Can't forget the cheddar cheese. Okay, so the meat is finished cooking. It's all good. It's all finished cooking. So the first thing you gotta do is you gotta layer the nachos. So you gotta put some of the chips on the bottom first. And that's a great English word, layer. You can have layers of a cake. You can have layers of nachos like this. Very good English word, layer. Okay, so you got the first layer. Put a little bit of cheese. On the first layer, voila, oops, almost too much cheese. And then you layer the meat on top of the cheese and the chips. But you don't put all of it at once. You put a little bit here. And then you add another layer of chips. I can't forget the Dorito chips also. All right, that's a good layer. Put some more cheese. More cheese. And this is shredded cheese. Very good English word, shredded. See how it's shredded? So this is shredded cheese. And then add all the meat on top. Then add one more layer of chips just on the top. And it is finished. Oops. That looks like enough nachos for me and my baby. Add some more cheese on the top. Some more cheese. Whoa. And it's all good. Just a little bit more cheese. Might as well, right? All right, so then we just gotta throw the nachos into the oven. Another good English word, oven. And we'll be ready for our lunch. You want to turn it to about 180 degrees, not too hot, 180, and then that would be perfect. So we'll see you when the nachos are ready. Okay, so the nachos are ready. They look delicious, don't they? And thank you guys for watching today's YouTube video. It was just a normal Sunday. This is what me and my wife usually do on Sundays. We go to the beach, we eat nachos or barbecue. And thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, like the video. I hope you learned a lot of English today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.